every good story, really every story, has a beginning, a middle, and an end, right? That's typical, well, no matter how short, no matter how long. Beginning, middle, end. Pretty basic. Now, right now, you live in the middle. I hope you live in the middle. Because every tombstone got a beginning, and it's got an end, and what's in the middle? A dash. So right now, you on that dash, right? Everybody. You don't know where you at on that dash, but we on that dash. So we in the middle. So we are in the dash part of our life. Now, when we're writing this story, that dash has a lot of complications to it. It's got a lot of ups and downs. It's got a lot of disappointments. It's got a lot of positives. It's got a lot of negatives. It has a lot to learn from. Think about it. What have you learned so much from? You have learned a lot from other people's dash. You go back and you look at history. Oh, such and such tried that. Oh, this happened back then. In that dash, we learn a lot. So you have a lot to tell. There's a lot that's coming from your story. We rode in this morning and listened to someone's life story. And it was a good one. It had a lot of intrigue to it. But it was their life. We could pick up a lot from that. Go in your Bibles to Isaiah 46. Isaiah 46. This is going to be our base scripture for today. Isaiah 46, starting at verse 3. It says, "Listen to me, you descendants of Jacob, all the remnant of the people of Israel, whom I have upheld since your birth and have carried even to your old age and gray hairs. I am he. I am he who will sustain you." Sustain, strengthen, or support you, right? "I have made you, and I will carry you. I will sustain you, and I will rescue you. With whom will you compare me or count me equal? To whom will you liken me that we may be compared?" Who will you even attempt to compare me to, is what God is saying. I want you to jump down to verse 9. Verse 9 says, "Remember the former things, those of long ago. I am God, and there is no other. I am God, and there is none like me. I make known the end from the beginning, from ancient times what is still to come. I say my purpose will stand, and I will do all that I please." Basically, you will not stop my purpose. So he has been there, he is here, and he's going to be there. So when he says he's going to never forsake you, that means he was there in the past, he's here right now, and he's going to be there in the future. So he's going to always be there. You can't write a good story being absent. And last week we talked about him being the author of our story. We talked about him being the author and the architect, which means he builds with words and he also constructs with his hands. But he can't do that being absent. So he says he's going to be there. His plan, we got to know, is that a big part of his plan is that he is present. He's not absent from our life. He's there with you through it all. But do you utilize him in all that you do in writing your story? We live a lot of our life unknown. We don't know what's going to happen. We live in our past, part of it being unknown. We don't know necessarily what we did, meaning what result it had on somebody. Think about, you've done some things in your past. You've said some things in your past, but you really don't know the outcome of what you did. You said some words to some people maybe even yesterday. You don't know how they took it. You've done some things and left it there. You don't know if people found it or not. We've hidden some things, even from ourselves, and we can't find it in the future because we don't know we hid it in the past, right? So we've done some things that we don't know the outcome. There's some stuff that's happening in the future that we don't know what's going to happen. We take our best guess. We want it to happen, but a lot of it is based on how we hope and how we feel. Basically, what I'm saying is, as you write your own story, as you attempt to write your own story, you throw away a lot of drafts. You make a lot of notes. You start a certain way, and you throw it away when it don't work out. You got a lot of old relationships that you tried and you say, this ain't working. So you ball it up. Let me throw that one away. You done tried some things. You know what? I want to be a barber. I want to be a hairstylist. I want to be a fashion designer. I want to play tennis. I want to play an instrument. You pick it up. You try it. Ball it up. Throw it away. Ball it up. Throw it away. And now you got this big pile of drafts and stuff that's just thrown away. Some good, some bad. But it's there. Now here's the other thing about when we think of stuff that don't work and we toss it away, we don't really throw it away. We storage it away. Okay. Very similar to your house, right? You ever notice how you don't know what to do with something? You're like, I don't know where to put this. I don't want it right now, but I might need it in the future. And now, why do we say we might need it? Because we don't know what the future looks like. It's all like we just talked about, right? It's unknown. I might have a use for this. Now, some of y'all are worse than others. Some of y'all keep everything. This metal, I could probably make something out of this one day. I'm going to put it over here. This is some scrap wood that I used when I was building this box. This little 2x4 might, man, you never know. I'm going to throw it over here. Now, it's okay and it's neat when it's 1 or 2. But as the years go by, the pile get bigger. Next thing you know, you got a room that you can't use because of stuff that you might use one day. But the room that you could use today, your garage, your guest room, outside, is not usable because you're storing things in it that you might use one day. And that room, that drawer, that cabinet becomes affectionately known as the junk drawer. Because there's stuff in there. And when you clean out the junk drawer, you throw it all out on the table. I got to go through this. And you go through it only to put a bunch of the stuff back in there. And it's more organized. I can't throw this away. What is it? I don't know. It go to something. Well, what did it go to? I don't know. Put it back in the drawer. I'll figure it out one day. And it's there. And that's how we live our life also. We put a lot of stuff to the side, but we don't necessarily forget it. It becomes known as defense mechanisms. How does this work? Because, see, you don't forget when you were hurt. You don't forget when you were disappointed. I told them I loved them. They didn't say it back. That hurt. Won't do that again. I went into a relationship too hard. Won't do that again. I went and asked for that promotion or that raise, and they said no. Won't do that again. I tried that job. They said I wasn't qualified. Won't try that again. And all that stuff that we built up in our life has something that we learn from. But it's really just a place full of junk that we really need to discard. Because now we're comparing God to what's happening in our life when we tried it. So now that God tells you to go do something, you say, nah, I ain't going to try that. Because when I tried it, it didn't work. So how is it going to work now that you're telling me to try it? So put it this way. You've tried relationship after relationship maybe, in your younger years. They didn't work out, right? Either you were disappointed, you were rejected. Let me back up. I'll give y'all a prime example. Because we all grown, we all know how life works. Let's go back in time. And y'all who are young, I'm going to take you back to the 90s. Some of y'all going back to the 70s, depending on when you was there. But I got to take you back out of this world. Because this world, I told Adrian, if something were to happen, I think I'm just going to be lonely, man, because I don't know how to date in this new world. I can't date through a tablet. Just not my world. I'm used to getting clean, going to a club or some place, right? You smell good, you look good. And as you're sitting there, you look across the room and you see her. Little light shine on her. You like, ah. See, now they just, nope, yes, ooh, check. I don't know how to do that. All right? Thank God I don't have to do it. But you see that person and you say, okay, got to wait for the time is right. Oh, she's talking to somebody right now. Let me wait for a friend to go this way. Let me wait for him to get shut down. Now it's my turn. All right? And you feel good. You step over there. And as you walk and she see you walking towards her, she know what you coming for. And she say, okay. That didn't work. That was 2 hours of wasted time that I could apply somewhere else, but I'm going to try again next week. Now, that's your style, right? You try, you get shut down, and week after week go, you get rejected, but you keep trying. But then you got that one friend, it don't matter all night long. He just go, hey, how you doing, pretty lady? No, okay, hey, how you doing, pretty lady? No, hey, how you doing, pretty lady? Pretty lady. Hey, pretty lady. You're like, oh, man, you just get rejected all night. Somebody going to say yes. That's his attitude. I was never that guy. I'm like, good, you just going for the masses. Now, when you think about it, we kind of learn from those activities. Because when you get rejected so much, you start to just get down. Man, I guess ain't nobody there for me. So now you done dated a little bit and got rejected, but then all of a sudden, you come to know God. And God sends the one. And he says, all you need to do is go and talk to the one that I sent you. But then you think back like, nah, I've been rejected too much, and I'm not going to go for it. What do you end up doing? You're comparing your actions to God's actions. God said, I told you this time, but you tried the other time. You can apply that to a job. You can apply that to any other opportunities that come through life. When you tried, you failed, so now that God tells you to try, you can be like, no, I tried that before, failed, nope, not going to do it. He said, why are you comparing me to them? See, we tend to live an unorganized life. We feel we need something based on what the world says we need. Oh, I need that. I need this. Today, if you were to drive into this church, how far do you need to get down the road before you realize you left your cell phone? That you wouldn't turn around and go back. Some of y'all might even get to the church park and be like, I forgot my phone. I'll be right back. Some of y'all can make it a little bit further. Some of y'all can be a little closer. But you need that phone. Let's go back in time. Taking y'all back again, because time is the ultimate measure. There was a time when it me, you really needed me. You couldn't really call me, but you who is this? All right. 911. That must be an emergency. You got some change? Give me a quarter. Who this? Oh, okay, I'll be there later on. Click. And go on about my day. And I'll talk to him again later. But now, you called me. You don't even leave a message. You may not even text me. I called you, why you didn't call back? Because I got missed calls. You got so much access to me. But guess what? I need that phone. I can't live without this phone. But just a short time ago, you didn't even know what the phone was. You didn't need it. It was just there. It's convenient, but we've become accustomed to it. So the things that we need, we don't really need. We just really, really want because we become accustomed to it. You can look at TV. You can look at QVC long enough, and if you look at that channel that's selling you stuff, I need that. Look at that mop. Just spin and dry. I need that mop. Oh, look at that oven. Okay, it just cooked that easy. I need that in my life. Oh, it just tie your hair up just like that. I need that. How can I live without it? Because it sells it to you. That's what the world does. They sell you what you need. But we start putting our needs so much in the world that we forget who we really need. And God says, I will meet all your needs. But our life is so unorganized that we buy a lot of stuff to organize it that ends up unorganizing it even more. Your phone. Think about it. I want y'all to really understand where I'm going here now. When the computer came in and your phone came in, it was supposed to organize your life. Think about how many apps are on your phone for organization purposes. Think about the computer, how much easier it was supposed to make your life. But how much difficult is stuff now? We got more access to information, people, things. We don't have to even call long distance no more, y'all. You remember it used to cost you to call somebody? If they were in Alabama, you had to pay. I got to get off this phone talking to you. Now you call anybody you want. When the last time you wrote a letter and looked at the stamp and put it in the mailbox for a friend? You ain't got to do that no more. We got all this access. So much access to information, to everything that we want real time. I don't even have to wait on Channel 5 News no more. They can tell me, hey, something happened. What happened? I go to Twitter. I can go anywhere I want and find out news. It may not be right, but I at least get satisfied myself. We got all this, but yet we are so much more in pain. We have so much disorganization. We don't have a good handle on our life. So it's not the resources that we have, it's us. Because I don't care what you try to put in your life to organize it, if you are not organized, if you are not complete, which is where we're going, you will never find the world to complete you. The world just can't complete you. You put stickies on the wall, and next thing you know, the whole wall full of stickies trying to remind you of what to do. But your life is still disorganized. So how is this applying to God? God says in Isaiah 46:5, with whom will you compare me or count me equal? To whom will you liken me that we may be compared? Why do we have an unorganized life? Because we go by the timing of the world. The world tells you when you should graduate, when you should be married by, when you should have kids by, when you should have that job, when you should have the amount of money that you need, when you need to retire. Everything in between, the world tells you. So now we judge ourselves by the world. Oh, I don't have that. Too old, too late, too young, too early. Not the right color, not the right look. Don't have the right look to yourself, right? Not the right size, not the right type of person. That's what the world tells you. And then we say, that's right. I can't move in that way. I'm not the right person. I'm not the right age. Love done passed me by. Money done passed me by. That gold done passed me by. I wish I would have did that in my younger years. And now we sit back and we wish and we regret and we don't try no more because time has effectually passed us by. Why? Because we're comparing ourselves to the world. But he said, who are you comparing me to? He created time. Time is the ultimate measure. Time did not exist until he put it in motion. We measure everything according to time. And if he created time, don't you think he can make your time? Psalm 90:4. Psalm 90, verse 4. 1,000 years in your sight are like a day that has just gone by, or like a watch in the night. Many times we read this and we just apply this to God. But he is not restricted. Not only is he not restricted by time, but he is not measured by time. So when we look at him, he says we are a new creature. So if we are new creatures in him, we can't be measured by time either. Meaning that what he wants for you is in his time. Not in your time, not in the world's time, not in anybody else's time. Ecclesiastes 3:11, because I see y'all face, y'all don't believe me. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart. Yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. In your time, things will happen. There may be some decisions that you made in the past that you may regret. That's fine. It may be some stuff that's going to happen in the future that you ain't seen yet. That's fine. But in your time, which he has set in motion, things will happen for you. So don't let people, don't let the world, don't let things get you down to where you think what he says is going to happen is not going to happen. We look at Sarah. Oh, that's an old story, Sarah and Abraham. But he said she's going to get pregnant. And she said, ha, 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 ha. That's what she said. Ha, 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 ha. She laughed. But she ended up getting pregnant. Now, he had to make her be quiet for a while, but she ended up getting pregnant at an old age in her time. God can do whatever he wants. He said he will make it beautiful in his time. Go to Psalms 1 and 3. It says that person is like a tree planted, meaning he places you there, by streams of water, which yields fruit in its season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever they do, prosper. You have a purpose. You just got to figure out when you going to link yourself to God to find out that purpose. You have a purpose. God's writing does not deviate from his purpose. If I pick up a book and the book is supposed to be scary, but it end up being funny, that's not good. If the book is meant to be a mystery, but it ends up being a comical satire, that's not good. If I read the back and it says, you will be on the edge of your seat, and I'm bored out of my mind, that's not good. It's deviating from the story. Think about your life, how sporadic, how things go, how you remember to do things. You just go, oh, I forgot this. Oh, I forgot that. Oh, your days and years are just in flux. See, days go by fast or slow. Years go by fast, right? Days go by slow, years go by fast. We look back, how much time passed? But during the day, you're like, man, ain't time to go home. So when you think about it, so much of what we do, we just go off of what some random thought that I need to think about my retirement. Random Tuesday. We don't have a plan for it. We just, oh my goodness, we get scared about it. I'm getting older. What's going to happen when I get too old? I don't know. I got to get my kid in college. I got to get my kid through high school. I got to do this. I got to do that. All because of flags that kind of happen throughout life. We don't necessarily have a plan, a lot of us. We just go to sleep and get scared. Because that's when it happens. When you lay down, oh my God. New alarm system. What if somebody broke in this house? What was that? You'll hear a noise, and next thing you know, you off running thinking, I got to get this, I got to get that, because if somebody came in tonight, what would I do? I run in the closet with that broom. Broom ain't going to do it. So you start planning right there in your sleep. You'll go to sleep, have a thought. I don't know what I'm going to do in the next 15 years. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to be older tomorrow. Time just keep on ticking. I don't know if this bank account going to hold up. And now you scared. Heart beating, can't go to sleep. Happens to us all. But we have to know that God is the writer of our story. He said, don't be anxious about tomorrow. Why do you think he said, don't be anxious about tomorrow? Because even back then, people got anxious about tomorrow. That's nothing new. Same way you get anxious now about tomorrow. You're not anxious about the past. You're anxious about the future. You're thinking about it. So we have, God is consistent. In Hebrews 13 and 8, he said, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and what? Forever. So if he's consistent, we know that the world is not consistent. Even though there are things that's going to come at you that's going to surprise you here and there, he is never surprised. And he can always give you a heads up. So think about it this way, people. If you went the same route every day, and after this one corner that you turned, there was a man standing there, and he jumped out in the skate. First time you jump. Second day, he do it again. Third day, he do it again. Fourth day, he do it again. So now you know this man going to always be there. Are you going to be scared every single day? Something be wrong with you if you were, right? Like, okay, it's day 50. All right, ain't scared no more. That's consistency. When you look at it from the negative part, you're like, okay, I know it's coming. So if God is consistent, and he's always there looking out for you, he said he'll rescue you and he'll sustain you. He knows what's around every corner. So now, if you were with somebody, now somebody's walking with you on this same path. It's their first day walking this path. And they say, man, it's a man going to be around this corner. He going to jump out. He going to say, rah. He been doing it for the last 50 years. Okay? He always do it. Don't worry about it. All right? So now he come out, and you jump a little bit. He was right there, just like you said. Told you he was going to be there. And y'all keep on your way. But the first day it happened, you're like, oh my goodness. What you going to do? Who you going to? But now The person you with just told you, don't worry about it. He just going to jump out. He going to scare you. We going to keep going. He ain't going to do nothing. He just going to do this. Or he going to take a step this way. He know all the moves. So now when you do that, all of a sudden you're like, okay, it took a lot off of it. That's what I'm talking about when you're walking with God. It's not that you won't jump. It's not that you won't startle a little bit. But he gave you something that you don't have to mess up your life. That you can be like, okay, I kind of saw this coming. You prepared me for this. I see it. I knew you told me exactly where it was going to be. You told me exactly how it was going to happen. And then you told me what I needed to do after it happened. Now, everybody else who go through it, jump, run across the street, change their path, go in a different direction, all because of this singular event. But what he told you is this is going to happen. Don't let it deter you from your path. Because all that's going to happen is he's going to jump and scare you, but he's trying to get you off your path. All you got to do is keep going. Stay the course. He just want to get you off course. So take a step to the left and keep walking. Oh, okay, that's all I got to do. That's all you got to do. Now, you may take a stop. Ooh. Okay. I told you he wasn't going to do nothing. Lord, you sure did tell me. Thank you, Lord. But everybody else done made a U-turn, done went back, done held up. Not you. Because he is consistent. Everything changed. People change. Your wife changed. Your husband changed. Your job changed. Stay away from downtown a few weeks. All right. Now you struggling how to navigate. Because they always building something. It's always changing. The Atlanta that I grew up in does not look like the Atlanta that's there now. Right? Go down Spring Street, make a left on West Peachtree. West Peachtree gone. You know what I mean? It's completely different. So you got to know that life is going to change. But God is consistent, and he will never change. And you need that consistency. So what is your role in your story? If everything is changing, God is writing a story. What is your role in that story? Well, it depends if you are allowing him to write the story or not. You have two characters in a story. You have the protagonist. That's the leading character. That's the hero. If you're going to see Superman, Superman is the protagonist. Then you have the antagonist. Who's the antagonist? This is the villain. This is the person who's coming against the hero. Lex Luthor in the Superman story, right? He the one after Superman. Now, we always have to have this because this is what makes a good story. If you just had a story about Superman and they say, what's Superman going to do? He going to fly around, he going to eat dinner, he going to go talk to Lois Lane, then he going to fly back around, then he going to like shoot some lasers, and that's the movie. Ain't nobody going to see that. He going to fight somebody? No. He just going to fly around. I'm not going to go see nobody fly. Okay, so I got to have a villain, right? Now, I got a villain. Hero has to win, right? But in your story, who are you? Are you the protagonist or the antagonist? Now you say, well, how can I be the antagonist in my own story? We are the antagonists of our own story. We play dual roles. People, you mess up your own story. You ruin the ending so many times. There's so much that is there for you that you have stepped away from that was right there because you got disappointed, because you were hesitant, because you were emotional, because you felt a certain way. You didn't do it. There are things that are there that if you just take a hold of and have faith in God, that you could succeed in. But you went against your own story. You flipped the script on your own story. There have been times that you sit there and you look at the person in the mirror that is designed for greatness, that God has established and put in a place that can succeed. And you look in there and you say, what are you thinking? You ain't good enough for this. You going to go in there, they going to laugh at you. You should be ashamed of yourself for even thinking this. And you sit there and you put on your clothes and then you taking them off because now you saying, I ain't going to even try this. I ain't going to even do this because you don't feel worthy. And God said you are worthy, but instead of listening to him, you looking back at your antagonist self and destroying the hero that is looking in the mirror. And then you want to blame it on the devil. You want to blame it on the world. The only thing that the world and the devil can do is tempt and try to come against. But you are the one that can accept that defeat. If you are willing to lay down and give up on what God has already established you to win? He said you're going to win. So the only way you can lose is if you give up. That's the only way. Everything else has a great outcome. And you don't have to go to the multiverse in order to get there. You can succeed right where you are. All you have to do is trust in him. It don't matter about your education. It don't matter about your size. It don't matter about your look. It don't matter if you're a male or a female. It don't matter how old you are, how young you are. You are established for success. It don't even matter what you did in the past. Some of y'all are ashamed of your past self. Your past self is gone. Who cares? Everybody don't need to know your business. Quit telling everybody. That's the first thing. Everybody judge me because you keep talking. Shut up. They don't need to know about your history. Well, you know, I was down and out. You know, I was out there for a little while. Shut up. God knows. Who are you today? But you so far in the past because why? You live in the junk room. You living around a bunch of stuff and disappointment. All them drafts that you balled up and you threw in the corner, now that's your bedroom. And you just look at all this unfinished business. I should be ashamed of myself. Look how disorganized I am. I never invite nobody to my house because I can't even clean this up. It's infested. It's a mess. God said, let me clean it up. Let me clean it up. But you too scared to let him into the house. And he said, I already know what it looked like. I already been there. I know exactly what it is. I don't know why you just don't accept my help. Take responsibility for yourself. Be who you are. In the mirror and defeat the other person who's trying to tell you that you're not good enough. Because God said you are. He says in Matthew 28:20, and teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you. Everything I have commanded you. And surely I am with you always to the very end of the age. And you sit there and you feel unloved. You feel ungrateful. You feel like you don't deserve. But also in Romans 8:38 and 39, Paul says, for I am convinced that neither death nor life, neither angels nor demons, neither the present nor the future, nor any powers, neither height nor depth, nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of God that is in Christ Jesus our Lord. So as you look at that person, I don't care if you're a macho man, I don't care if you're an independent woman, I don't care if I don't need nobody. What type of mentality this world has told you to have? Because it's a lot of pain in this world that we done fake to say, I'm strong, I'm dependent, I don't need nobody. Yes, you do. Because a lot of that is just fake bravado. And you need God. We all do. And we need love. I don't need nobody to love me. I love myself. Okay. Keep taking yourself on them romantic dates on your little, okay, I got this. I'm me. You know you want somebody. You know you do. And I'm not talking about no flesh and blood person. I'm talking about God. You know you need him. And you've been fooling yourself all this time, knowing that you're in a lot of pain. But God got you. You can show the world whatever you want to show them. You can fool me. I'm easy to fool. Why? Because a lot of it is okay, you said you fine, right? If everybody who I say, hey, how you doing? They say, fine. I say, are you really? Come on, brother, let's talk. Are you really fine? Are you really okay? I'll never make it to where I need to go. So if you say you fine, you fine. And that's how the world going to treat you. And inside, you just want somebody to ask you that question. You want somebody to dig a little bit deeper, but they never do. Why? Because you got a lot of unanswered questions. You got a lot of pain. You got a lot of hurt because your story is not in the right hands. You trying to do this yourself, but you can't. You never will be able to. You done put posters on your mirror. I am strong. I am smart. I am special. I am important. You can try all that. And it'll work for a little while. You feel a little inspired. But after a while, you run out of gas. And you're back on empty once again. Because it ain't enough. You can't just remind yourself. You have to live it. He said, do all I commanded you to do. And some of y'all, as soon as you walk out of that room, you got the people in your own house who won't let you come up. They beat you down. They step on your dreams. They hurt you. Tell you can't do it. Who cares what they say? What did God tell you to do? You feel unloved, but he said he'll always love you. You feel like nobody else around in a sea of many, many people, but he said, I am always there. I will never forsake you. So even though you feel lonely, even though you feel rejected, even though your past, you look back and you say, man, felt like ain't nobody really ever held on to me like that. I wish I had that. Quit wishing. Get what God wants you to do. See, you have to know that what God has for you is not a fabrication. See, I can take Adrian out on a date, right? And we can look over there at that other table, and you'll see another couple sitting over there, and the man just, baby, I love you so much. And he'll feed her. Love you, baby. You are beautiful. And she'll look over there and say, oh. And then she'll look at me and I say, better eat that food. I ain't gonna do that. I'm not gonna sit here and do that. I ain't doing none of that. And while you sitting over here jealous, you don't know that man. He might get up soon and come on. I don't know them people. All that just what they doing here at this restaurant. We don't know what it look like at their house. So while you trying to trade out like, I want that in my life. I want somebody to turn my arm and they arm so we can drink. You better drink that water and hush. Deal what you got. You go there and get that and that's all you get. Come on. Y'all sitting there broke in a box trying to drink out of some red cups. God got something for you. Quit looking at everybody else. You don't know what they got. You just know what they show you. The world is good at advertising, but it's not good at telling the truth. You look at Instagram and think everybody rich. I swear everybody rich on Instagram. They leaning up against somebody else's car. They in front of somebody else's house. They done Photoshop themselves in some remote island. Everybody rich. It ain't real. What does God have for you? Don't worry about them. Quit comparing God to them other people. Compare him to you. Look in the mirror and say, God, what do you have for this person? What do you have for this hero? What do you have for this person? And let, Lord, write my story today. Build on my story every day. I'm giving you the pen. I want you to write it out. Because the stuff that I come up with is all imaginary. It's all hope. It's all wish. It's all a thought. Because that's what people want. That's what the movies are about. I thought the movies were supposed to be, when I was younger, I thought I was supposed to have the same 4 friends for the rest of my life. I don't know how many of y'all have looked at a lot of African American movies, brothers, sisters, whatever. It's all these groups of 5 or 4. Mamas know each other, everybody know each other. They go play basketball every Wednesday, poker every Friday, and everybody's so together. Man, I don't know nobody from high school. I know one person from college. I'm like, dog, I missed the boat. What happened to my group, right? Where my best men or whatever you're supposed to be, right? I don't know them no more. But that's the world, and now I feel like, dog, I don't have that type of group. So what? You got God. So I want you to understand, and this is why I'm spending time on this, is because this is one of the one things that takes us away from God's purpose. Our disappointment and us thinking that we messed up. Your story is where it is right now. You still got a lot more story to live. But quit trying to intervene and mess the story up. Let him have that pen. Let him make your marriage great. Let him make your relationship with your kids great. Let him make all them relationships fantastic. Let him give you all that you ever wanted. All right there, because he got the pen. And you don't have to imagine no more. You ain't got to ball up no drafts. Everything is right there in permanent ink.